We have so many stories in our lives, but our stories are not always heard. On the Hear My True Story podcast, we tell our own true stories.
Before the white car parked, our head teacher had scattered. Looking at him, I could only see his tie that was flying backwards, waving at us, and he disappeared in thin air.
I want to share my life story. I want to share my voice with the people because I know that just a small joke I can tell through this podcast, it will make someone smile.
When you ask me what I fear most in life, I would definitely respond to you and say it's fear itself.
We are fighting for togetherness. We are fighting for equal rights. We are fighting to end injustice.
You don't have to be a storyteller or writer because, guess what? Life writes the best stories.
Hear my true story.
So guys, thank you so much for getting back to our channel. It's myself, Otako, and
Onyango.
Onyango. Yes. Today is einfach. Yeah, we are just sharing our experience with learning the language, the German language. Why it is important for you to learn German, one, before coming to German, and even though when you're in German, why it's important for you to learn the language.
Yes.
So today we are just going to stop the experience. My brother Onyango here, Onyango spricht sehr gut Deutsch als ich. Ich spreche nicht sehr gut Deutsch, aber ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. Ich habe mein A1, A2, B1 und B2 gemacht. Und jetzt, ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. Ja, auf der Straße, ich kann auch lesen und das und alles. Aber es war nicht einfach, aber ich habe das gemacht. Und ich weiß, dass jemand kann diese Sprache beherrschen. Ja, gut. Alles gut?
Ja, alles gut.
Hast du ja verstanden?
Ja, ich habe dich ganz gut verstanden, ja, auf jeden Fall.
Super,
ja.
super. Oh, okay, das ist sehr gut.
Ja.
Immer, ich habe Angst, wenn
Ja.
ich diese Sprache sprechen muss.
Ja.
Ja. Aha. So, warum muss man diese Sprache lernen, wenn du ein Ausländer bist?
Also ich wollte schon sagen, erstens, um von den Leuten hier ernst genommen zu werden, ne, musst du die Sprache unbedingt sprechen können.
So.
Ja? Sonst wirst du immer Schwierigkeiten haben. Ne? Und ich denke, es hat auch was damit zu tun, ne, dass man halt Ärzte besucht. Man geht auch einkaufen in Supermärkten. Gell? Man möchte auch Leute kennenlernen.
Das stimmt.
Ne? Und obwohl das größte Problem Deutschlands ist, also in Deutschland kann man nicht so Leute einfach so kennenlernen, wie zum Beispiel bei uns in der Heimat.
Ja.
Also das ist schon ein bisschen anders.
Ja, es war nicht einfach für mich, die erste Jahr in Deutschland, so viele Menschen zu kennenlernen, weil ich habe nicht so gut Deutsch gesprochen und das, und ich kann mit anderen Leuten treffen, wir treffen uns, aber ich kann nicht alles verstehen, ja?
Ja, genau.
So it's like when someone does a joke, is doing it in German and I cannot understand it, so I cannot laugh, then they have to translate for me that joke, then I understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to learn the language. So let us switch back to English.
Okay.
That's what
Exactly.
my our clients understand English here.
Okay.
But you can mix your German.
All right.
Yeah, I will also mix my German. I'm sorry, guys, but I need to practice with you too. Yeah. So,
Of course. Yeah, it's really also a very great motivation to really
Yeah.
keep learning, you know,
Yeah.
for those who really mainly want to also really make a move to also move to Germany
Yeah.
one day very soon in the future. you
Yeah.
know,
So yeah.
Yeah?
So just let's continue. So you talked about someone needs to go for shopping. You need to make friends. You need to really understand the letters that they send to you.
Yeah.
You need to read the street names and that. You need to use your Google Map when you know how to read the street names and everything, that you are supposed to go here and there. So the language is really important, according to my brother Onyango.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and just as I said, I remember this story you once recited, in one of your plays,
Yeah.
when you acted and said you talked about having visited, you talked about having gone to a restaurant and you wanted to collect something to eat. It was a dinner, no?
Yeah.
And you know what happened then at this moment was that this guy asked you if you wanted,
Yeah. I wanted chef.
yeah, if you wanted something really, if you wanted it hot,
Yeah.
yeah, and you said yes,
Yes.
without having understood actually what he meant with that, but you thought it was just something normal, something
yeah.
simple, so you just said yeah,
But
It's
the thing that I only
Yeah.
knew one word in German, and that was yeah. That was in 2017.
Yeah.
When I just knew yeah. Because I asked my friends when I go to German, what do I say? They say yeah is yes. Okay, good. I was just saying yes.
yeah, yeah.
I couldn't eat my food. I just left it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that drives me back to the same moment I remember being in Germany in 2014. And I was on a certain program for youth. It was a holiday program for youth at one social institution here in Western Germany. And I remember asking somebody, I had at least, of course, done my A1 level of German. So I had really the very basic German. And what surprised me with this was, of course, I actually always had the security. In the nature of work, having heard that I was going to work with kids, right?
Yeah.
And these were kids that were below 10 years of age. I thought, these ones, I've gotten them, I will talk to them, So I thought they didn't speak complicated German.
Yeah.
But less did I know that I was actually getting into the same trap I always got in when I try to talk or pick up conversations, that older, elderly people made,
Yeah.
So with the kids, of course, there's this kid who asked me, yeah, Onyango, would we like to do this and this? I don't remember what the kid told me, but based on what came later, I came to understand what the kid actually meant. So I remember asking somebody, how do I really deal with it when children are saying something and I don't understand them? So I expected the person to tell me, I tell them, no, you don't understand them. But then the person told me, I just tell them, yeah. So I didn't know the yeah word was actually going to really cause me trouble that I wouldn't really be able to kind of easily deal with. So the kid told me something and I was like, yeah. And the kid took it as a deal. So just after they had made their short break, the kid came running to me. Luckily, I had someone next to me who also spoke English very well. And I asked the person, what is the child telling me? What's the child saying? The child kind of really wants something from me, but I can't really understand what it wants. And it meant, the child says, you promise you're going to play with her in the labyrinth. You promise you're going to play with her in the labyrinth, so you have to go with her. And that's what she's waiting for. So I had no chance. And this was the time I wanted to also make a short break, but I couldn't make it because I'd promised someone. So that alone opened my mind and it forced me to even learn more. Secondly, don't be mistaken to think when you're in Germany, and most especially when you're living here. For those who are coming here to visit, it's not a big deal. You can come and you'll have people to support you around.
Yeah.
But when you're coming to live in Germany, or if it happens to be one of your plans, you will never get anywhere. I will repeat it again. You will never get anywhere without the German language. English may sound so international and all that, but you have to put it in your minds. However much people also learn different languages like English, like French, like Spanish in Germany, mainly English and German.
Yeah.
English and French.
Yeah.
I would still like to tell people, please.
Du musst.
Ihr müsst die Sprache lernen.
Das stimmt.
Yeah.
You cannot integrate in the system without the language.
You can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in from. You go and ask someone, they actually understand sometimes for those who've learned some English, but they're scared to really make mistakes. They're scared to speak. So after all, everyone is speaking German in the society. Why would they, after all, have to reply back in English?
And they speak to you in
German.
And actually, their offices in German is clear. when you go to those offices, you are supposed to use German. Ja, someone say, ja, ich kann dir verstehen, aber du musst Deutsch mit mir sprechen.
Yeah.
Nur Deutsch. And that is true. You need to learn the language. This is the thing that actually is the thing that I was introduced to earlier when I was coming to German. That I had to learn the German language, and I had to learn A1, at least that one.
Yes.
But when you come to German and you are not aware that language is important, mainly young people who are coming as students, university students, you're coming to learn a course that is in English, and you say, yeah, ich will die Sprache nicht. You don't like the language. It's a lie. You are going to do practicum. You need this language if you have to do practicum in German.
Yes.
If you, after your studies, and you really, really want to get a job in German, you need to learn the language. Do you know why? The German system does not force you that you go. No, it is structured that you hit the wall and come back.
Yes.
You go to office, okay, we can give you the job, but we will need B1. Und ich habe B1 nicht gemacht, ich kann nicht Deutsch sprechen, I cannot speak the language, I have not sat B1, so I cannot, then you have missed the job. So my brother, when you're coming to German, the language is important.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're just sharing experience. But actually on the other side, just like you learn more German with the children. Let me tell you guys, the best teachers of German are the children. I work with children. But every time I am with children, I am really listening to know the vocabulary they're using, and I'm learning every day.
Yes.
And I go back home and I look at my book and I look at my dictionary and I say, okay, this is what it means. And I ask also other people that I work with, I say, this means this. Okay, this is how I say it. Then I learn from the children how they say it, and then also I say, okay, this is how I can say it.
Yes.
I listen to their conversation with other kids,
Yes.
and I'm like, okay, this is how they are. So also I can really talk with them like this.
Yes.
And there's this, I don't know if it's a funny story, but one day when I started my practicum, I'll share with you how I got my practicum. So when I got my practicum, is it also in English practicum or it is in internship? So when I got my internship, it was supposed to be for 3 months, but I was only B1, B1 level.
Yeah, that's already an intermediate level.
Yeah, so I could understand some German, but the Ausdrucken, like the pronunciation was not that good. So one time, one of the kids came and said, Otako, yes, kannst du mir diese Bücher vorlesen? Like, okay, could you read for me this book? I was like, yeah. I got the book. I started reading. So when I read the book, the kid was understanding me very well because I was reading good German, at least B1. Then there's something that confuses me up now. That's the schön and schon.
Yeah.
So in the book, it was schön. Ja, aber ich habe schon gesagt. Und die Kinder war Otako, es ist schön. Schön, So I learned how to pronounce schon and schön because of the kid. The kid told me that, Otako, don't mind. This is how you say it. Schön. And then ich habe auch nochmal gesagt, schön.
Yes.
And then I said, okay, danke schön. The kid was happy. I was happy because I learned something from the child.
Yes.
I learned the German language from the kid. I was so happy. I was like, wow. And then I told my other co-workers and they laughed. I so laughed. I liked it. So I learned that way. I like learning the language within my job.
Yeah. And of course, that really brings us back to this thing because, that's one of those things we used to discuss about, like, looking at how supportive actually the German people are.
Yeah.
When it comes to speaking their language, no one will make fun of you for not speaking perfect German, right?
Yeah.
And here we go back home where we actually speak something. Actually, we are both learning a strange language. Like, we are both learning a foreign language. And other people are laughing at you for making mistakes. Yeah. And yet, they're themselves not even better.
Yeah.
But just laughing at you for making a mistake, and kind of like robbing you of the freedom to actually freely express yourself, because it's only through free expression that you
That's
actually gain confidence in speaking
the language.
whatever you're learning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And here people are so supportive. You make a mistake, just like he said, a child supported him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a mistake, it just says, okay, it's not a mistake, but it is this how you say it.
Yes.
And then you learn.
Mhm.
I've not found any problem with the German people in learning the language, because
Yes.
at least no one has laughed at me.
Yes.
They encourage you to speak the language,
Yes.
just like you say.
Mhm.
When you talked about back home, for example,
Yes.
me, I come from Uganda. I know we speak English, but we learn English. It is not easy in Uganda to learn English. You go to school, people laugh at you. Even
Yes.
teachers punish you for speaking wrong English. Can you imagine? I spent my entire primary
Yes.
being punished for speaking not right English.
Yes.
And now I'm in German, suffering to learn German. And I'm
Yes.
saying now, warum, why did
Yes.
I learn English
Mhm.
so hard with a lot of punishments? When you're in Uganda and you speak wrong English, people will make jokes of you. I see politicians in Uganda when they speak wrong English and people are making fun of them. The truth is this: English is a foreign language. It's not your mother language.
That's true.
That's one. That means that you are free to make any mistake in it as long as it's not your Muttersprache, it's not your mother language. People, support your friends, support each other to learn new languages, because when you learn a new language, you become an expert in it.
Exactly.
You enjoy it, you learn a new culture, just like
Yes.
that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Have you ever had an experience of someone laughing at you speaking wrong English?
Yeah. Actually, I happen to be one of the best at speaking English in my school. But I think it's because they had given us the sense of looking much more important in the society,
When you speak English.
yeah, by speaking good English, you know,
Mhm.
and actually making us feel, yeah, lesser of a human, yeah,
When you don't speak.
when you don't speak English and speak your local language, you know. So it was more of that, you know, that everyone was fighting for that kind of recognition, right? And so I didn't find myself actually struggling with the English language. But what bothered me was, you know, the importance one could give a language that I wasn't even born with, a language that I only adopted when I went to school.
That's true.
You know, that is what bothered me, the most. How do I adopt a language that is not even mine and treat it like it's even beyond my language? Of course, meaning automatically it meant we were, of course, selling our identity and soul and whatever, and
and cultures.
Yeah.
Anyway, to just say,
Yes.
this goes to our brothers, our sisters, family back home in Africa, in Uganda, in East Africa. The thing is this: a language that is not your language shouldn't be put as the first priority. Yeah, that you are speaking wrong English, you laugh at me, you punch me, you dehumanize me because I'm not speaking that language.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm here in German, I'm learning the language, and everyone is happy because I'm learning the language. They're encouraging me. You go to any English-speaking country, at least I don't know, maybe in England, maybe US, I don't know. Maybe for them it's different, but for me here in German, it's really something that they are really encouraging you to learn the language.
Yes.
And way better for me to learn now than how it was hard when I was learning English. Ja.
Ja.
Hast du etwas anderes über diese Sprache Thema zu teilen und das?
Also nichts Besonderes, außer nur die Leute zu sagen, auf jeden Fall zu ermutigen, Deutsch zu lernen. Ja?
Nur Deutsch.
Also die Gelegenheit auszunutzen. Please use the opportunity to learn the German language, and without any fear, because it's only through that you will be able to actually secure your future here.
Yeah, the moment this goes to the people who are coming to German, as the Ausländers, as the migrants from either wherever, whether Africa, whether South America, or whether the US, or you're coming from France, or where, you need to learn the language. Or you're coming from anywhere, you need to learn the German language when you're living in German. Das ist sehr wichtig. Du kannst nicht etwas anderes machen. You cannot do anything. It is a must. I learned that through experience.
Mhm.
Through experience. Did I tell you when I went to the toilet of the women instead of going to the toilet of the men?
Hey.
Because I didn't know what dame and herring meant.
Mm.
And I have a colleague of mine who shared with me. He went to the toilet of the disabled because he didn't know what that word meant.
Yes.
And then when he came out, people are complaining, why are you using that toilet when you can run with your 2 legs? So that's how it happens when you need to learn the language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So thank you guys
Yeah.
for joining us again, sharing with you our experiences.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Music by Edwin Matovo, hosted and produced by Otako. Subscribe to our podcast for more stories and visit us on our website, hearmytruestory.com, for more stories. All the links are listed in the show notes of this podcast.